I'm so. I did not think that T-Wall was going to go a whole half an hour late, but here we are. I can't turn on my video right now because I am driving in the car with my kiddos, but I'm excited to kick this brand new week off with you guys. Harriet is going to be leading us tonight. I think I heard her voice on there. Is she on here?
Yes, I am here, girl. I'm here.
All right, girlie. I'm going to hand it over to you, and then if you want to touch base on what we had talked about at like 5:00 this morning, we can do that towards the end. But
okay,
go ahead and mute myself and hand it over to you, girlfriend.
All right, here we are again, and I signed myself up for this, but I'm so nervous. I don't know why, y'all. But it's been a day, and I am the first one to always say, I'm gonna show up regardless. I'm gonna show up regardless of what's going on. Life is gonna always happen. But I got my notes for you guys. You might see me look down at them, but I'm gonna just kind of touch on a lot of mindset today. I've been reading a book, Authentically, Uniquely You by Joyce Meyer. I love her. I had to get this book, Living Free from Comparison and the Need to Please. And I feel like with what we do, we can go through this a lot, like almost every single day. And you have to have that mindset to keep yourself centered in who you are, and how we always say, take what you need and leave what you don't. When you see other leaders and when you see certain things like in our stories or how we're showing up, it's we have to develop that mindset to be happy for each other and to just feel inspired by each other and to put our own spin on it. So I really want to talk about failure and like the fear of it, and like switching our perspective of how we view failure. Um, there was a chapter here, chapter 6. It's called "If at first you don't succeed, you're normal." It's normal to fail. We're probably fail at something every single day. And the thing is getting back up, not staying there, and like get your little booty moving. Y'all gonna get a little bit of my yellow and red today. I'm mostly always red, but especially when I'm nervous. Did y'all see my video on the team page? I don't even want to. Anyway, so I just want to say, like, God uses people who fail. He uses people who fail all the time. Like, he can make miracles out of mistakes. Like our God that we serve, the God that I serve, has equipped you to be here. He's equipped you with your certain gifts and talents that he wants you to give to the world. And if you stay stuck in fear, somebody is going to miss out on the blessing that you could be because you're hiding your gifts. You're hiding what should be brought to the light. You're hiding what God has put in your heart because of the fear of others' opinions. So next time you feel down, I want you to think that so many people who've been successful, even the leaders that we look up to, they've failed. They've gone through the trenches. They've gone through having to have that grit and that perseverance to be able to push through towards their vision, towards everything that they want to accomplish. So we've all gone through a lot of adversity. And the thing is to having to push through, but we have to keep growing ourselves. We have to keep growing that mindset, keep having the affirmation, but living the affirmation out. Not just like, oh, I'm a 4K leader, I'm a 12K leader. You want to be able to like walk in that fire that God put in you, that you're dimming because you're fearing what others are going to think. You know, like we have our hands on something so huge that it would be selfish of us. Like, who are we? Like she said somewhere in there, like somebody said, oh, I hate myself. I don't like this about myself. Like, who are you to say that you hate yourself or you don't like something about you, or the other person looks better or they have more than you? Like, who are you? After Jesus Christ died to give you the freedom, died to give you an inheritance. He died to give you so much, that who are we to dim that light? Who are we to not flourish in it? Who are we to not grow and plant the seeds, but grow them and have a harvest and have that fruitful life that he wants us to have? But we have to go through that growth. We have to become more. As we always say, you have to like go through the process of who you want to become. So we're going to create tonight a new perspective on failure, okay? Because it's so easy to stay in your comfort zone. It's so easy to retract and stay in that safe zone, right? Safe from the opinions of others, safe from what others may say. You know, like when we fail, bad news spreads faster than when we succeed, right? And we know that. So like we're like, oh my God, like I just had a brain freeze, or oh my God, like I don't know what I just said on that live, right? Like I even go through it every single day, but I still show up and I do it anyway. I knew you were gonna come. I knew you were gonna come. What's wrong? I just want a snack. Okay, mommy gave you a snack. Go eat it. I'm almost done. Go. Come on. Not right now, Tristan. Y'all already know how we do here. My oldest is with my cousin, but this little one here. Okay, go to your room. All right, so bad news spreads fast, I wrote on here, right? And also, one thing that I've always wrote down or thought about as far as fear, Tristan, please. Okay, I left you a snack in your room. Go get it. Go get it and go watch Blaze, okay? He's gonna end up staying here. Okay, you have to be quiet. So fear is false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real, right? The fear of that failure is not as bad as we have convinced ourselves it is in our minds. We develop all these like limiting beliefs and these thoughts, and we psych ourselves out, you know, and in all seriousness, like if you really, really think about it, allowing others people's opinions and thoughts, okay, to control your decisions, it often leads to measurable loss. Like you staying stuck in your fear is very costly. What is it gonna cost you? What is it gonna cost your family? Tristan, please. Hey, look what I got. Look at my friend right here. You want it? Okay, go back to your room. Go to your room. Go to your room. Mommy's gonna come get you when I'm done. Go. Tristan. If you're gonna stay here, you have to be quiet. Okay? Sorry. All right. Failure is not as bad as you make yourself think in your mind. Okay, that's what's gonna grow you. That's what's gonna help you know when you need to pivot. That's what's gonna help you know when you need to go in another direction. Okay? Failing is a good thing. If you're not failing, you're not succeeding. It's just inevitable. It's inevitable. And a lot of times, like I said, we make it bigger in our minds than what it really is. Like going live. Amber always says there's no such thing as a bad live. You went live. You've gone further than a lot of people by just clicking that live button. Be proud of taking those steps that make your armpits sweat like mine are right now. You know, like you just have to get it done. So you have to think about that. Like the life God gave you is your life. And only you will be the one to have to give account to it. Are you going to show up to God? Are you going to show up to the feet of Jesus and say, well, I was too scared to grow this talent that you gave me, to turn this opportunity that you gave me into like the biggest miracle for my life that you can do through it because I was too scared? Am I going to stay and live a mediocre life, a life by default, a life that has nowhere near shows your design and what you made it to be? It's not fair to you, to your future self. It's not fair to your kids. It's not fair to your why. It's not fair to not grow and change your perspective on that fear of failing or getting out there and get out of your comfort zone and stretching yourself and growing. And we all have more to work on, but at the same time, you have to start. The things that scare you the most, that's the things you have to do the most. I panicked to come on here on the Zoom, but God told me, hey, your team could hear this. And I'm like, okay, Amber, I have a message, you know, but you have to stretch yourself. Like I'm just getting used to opportunity events, but I told myself, and it's been hard. Y'all know I'm with my kids. It's not easy. It's not easy, but I made a commitment, y'all, every single Thursday, all 2022, I'm doing an op event. We have leaders who, oh my God, Katie is heaven sent. Like she said it at the beginning of this year, she said, do an opportunity event once a week and watch your business change. My business has been changing. And not only in like the numbers, because that's not what matters. My service, my love for others, finding my niche, finding what I have to offer to other people, how to show up in my power place. You can find your power place too. You have to be able to stretch yourself to even find it, to find your niche, to find the 2-3 things that you just gonna hone in on when it comes to, yes, finding your voice, especially on reels, the way we're trying to grow, even there, once you get those 2-3 things that you're like, okay, they like this is working, roll with that. But you're never going to find out if you don't take that step, and you don't put yourself out there. So a lot of times there's a saying that people say, well, they said this, they said do, they said this. Oh my God, what are they going to say? Who is they? A lot of times they is like, who is they? Most of the time, it might not even it might not be people who even know you. Like a lot of people on social media, they don't even really know you. They're not paying attention as much as you think they are, right? And the ones that do, and you might know them, a lot of times the opinions that they're giving you are based on their own thoughts, right? Their own ideas, their own fears. You can't allow people to put their fears onto you. I have a friend right now who started her business with me over a year ago. And in the moment she signed up, she had someone around her say, oh, I don't know why you signed up for that. You're not good at sales anyway. Like, what are you doing? And I can tell that stuck with her. She created a whole narrative in her mind about that. And she has not shown up. She tried. She did a little here and there. She came to me a year later, not too long ago, and she's like, oh, man, I just don't know. People aren't feeling it the way I do. Like, so what? Thrive loud and proud. Do you love how this makes you feel? Don't care about what anybody else says. Keep showing up loud and proud. Keep showing up. Yeah, I thrive. I'm thriving on. I don't care. You may feel like you're being boring. Look, let me tell you, the moment you think that you're like repeating yourself too much in your stories, that's when people really start paying attention. And when I say like I am the screenshot queen to get inspired by other leaders, I am the screenshot queen. Okay. I'm so happy about that content. Olivia Carroll is going to love the fact that I joined that content Zoom, because now I can actually just go save her posts instead of screenshotting them and cutting them. But I put my own things on it. I put my pictures. I put my story. If a lot of the things that we like about our capsules are the same. Like I've been coffee free for 3 years. I put something like I've been for almost 2 years now. I've been like with no scatterbrain or whatever, but I might position my things the way she positions them and put me on it. So there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we just overthink it. Just show up. If you got to talk every day about it, just talk every day about it. Put a picture on it, put some slides that explain it. Just do it. Show up. Open up your story every single day. Open up your heart more. Go face to face more. Stop being so scared. Like there's times where I literally get on my stories and I'm like, I don't know, y'all. I just make my little faces like, but that's me. Just be you. It's such a beautiful place to be in. So they do not exist. Who are they? They are the little minions in your mind that you're making up about why you shouldn't do this or how you shouldn't do that. So we just need to ask ourselves, like, even if we do know who that person is who's saying whatever, I wrote on here, we know who they are. And what we need to do is ask ourselves whether they truly know what they are talking about, like straight up, or they merely want to control us. I've had y'all don't even know the amount of crap that I go through behind the scenes because of my heart, because sometimes I let people back in. I break that boundary and I don't stick to it, like toxic people. But I know that God put me here for a reason. I know that I have so much to offer, and so do you. To where I'm showing up anyway. I'm showing up anyway. I felt so anxious today because of everything going on. Just 2 weeks ago, my car broke down. It broke down again today. I've done Zooms with no power after a hurricane. Like this is my baby, and it should be your baby, because you're doing it for your babies. You're doing it for your future. And just like your babies, how you're raising them, you have to raise your business. You have to up-level yourself. You have to up-level your mindset. And y'all, and I know that sometimes it may feel easier said than done. We all don't know everything all of us go through behind the scenes. But one thing we can agree on is the fact that we want to be here. Like, you're here on a Monday night. Like, there's something keeping you here. So just don't give it up. Whether it is that some days you show up 20%, it doesn't matter, because God will make a miracle out of your perseverance. He will show up. He will show up. Like, when people love us, I don't know why I just went to this. When people love us with real, genuine love, the love that sets us free and encourages us to follow our hearts and try to do things without fear of failure, it never threatens to reject us if we don't do as others would have us do. That's something telling you of who you do need to have around you, who you do need to allow. You should make it a point to want to surround yourselves with people who aren't gonna make you feel like, even if it sounds a little crazy or that crazy fake, you go for it, girl. Yes, do it. You want to have people that are going to give you the real, have your best intent, your best intention at heart. So you have to also be mindful as that. Like, there's so many things that we've failed at in life, but we try to learn them and do it. And we end up starting not being able to do it quite easily. For example, as a toddler, did you suddenly begin walking without experiencing a fall while learning to do it? Did you learn to ride a bike without falling a few times? When you learned to roller skate, did you fall down a few times? Did you pass your driver's test the first time you took it? Perhaps you did, but many people do not. I was one. It's funny how she said I was one of them. I don't know how I passed my driver's test because I sure knocked down them cones on my parallel parking. Okay. I didn't learn how to parallel park till about 10 years later, when I went to South Beach for the first time and I had no choice to park that rental somehow. Like, there's so many things in life that we failed at. Like, are you able to write a text, email, or article on your computer without having to correct even one mistake? Even that, every single day. We make mistakes. We fail at little things sometimes, but we don't seem to mind those failures because they're things that either, of course, they happen when you were younger, or they're things that people don't know about and they're behind the scenes. But when it's something where you can fail at a bigger scale, it's so scary. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not, but you owe it to yourself to try to be the best version of you that you can be. You owe it to yourself to become that leader. You owe it to yourself to know that you can do it. That was my biggest thing, y'all. I've been through so many network marketing companies. I had network marketing burnout. I didn't even want to hear the word. But I just knew in my heart that I could do it. I knew in my heart that I'm gonna walk across that stage as 200K one day. I'm gonna become a Lavelle millionaire one day. And I just knew that I was gonna be that in network marketing because it's such a beautiful industry. I didn't know God was gonna bring me here. That number of completion. This is my 7th company, and I'm accomplishing things in a year and a half that I hadn't done in over 12 years in network marketing. And that's what lets me know that what we have here is gold. It's gold, because we go through so much in our lives that you need this type of leadership. You need this type of community to keep you there and keep reminding you of what's possible so you don't give up. I've been a part of so many other leaderships where it's like, I don't even hear a thing about any of their struggles. They're just trying to keep making more money and more money and more money off of me, and only care if I make an enrollment. They don't care about my mindset. They don't care about anything that may be going on in my heart or behind the scenes or what my dreams are. They most certainly weren't praying over them. We are so blessed to be here, and you owe it to yourself to use this opportunity to grow beyond measure and to one day give beyond measure and to just live life on your terms. So there are 8 ways here where we can develop a new mindset. So before we go into that, actually consider these questions first. When it comes to becoming the best version of you, what is it that you want to do with or in your life that you have not done yet? And this could be outside of, we aren't just Thrive. This is about being you. And sometimes there are certain things that you really have to uproot and really bring to the surface to realize, where are you holding back? What part of you is so scared to come out? Right? I'm half hood, half holy. I don't talk all proper. Oh, well. Right? It's, so what is it that you haven't done? Maybe it's you need to go jump off a zip line or something and just get that rush in life, whatever it is, Oh, Kendra, that's awesome. I know I have a podcast in my future too. God said it's not time yet, though. It's not time. It's not time. You know when it's time. So do you love your work, or would you really like to try something else? And look, here we are, right? A lot of us are here because we want that different. So maybe that's a question that may have already been answered. Or maybe even while you're building this network marketing business, maybe you have an opportunity like Amber did to go to a better environment still in her line of work to continue growing her business, right? What do you have to do to just have that joy in your life? You have control. Do you love your life, or do you waste your time wishing you had someone else's existence? Are you tired of hearing other people's stories of the adventures they have had? And do you long for adventures of your own? Those adventures won't come to you. You must choose them. You must choose to go after them. I'm telling y'all, this book is so good. Do you long to have a new hairstyle, but are concerned of the new one might not be as good as the old one? You will never find out unless you step out and try it. Did y'all see M's new cut? I just saw it. I'm wearing a bob too. I'm putting extensions. I was like, oh man, oh well, we're gonna be some bob twins. What if your friends don't like it? What if you don't even like it? Oh well. You know how many times I've gotten a hairstyle and I'm like, this don't look right. And then you just get used to it, and then you get compliments and you're like, okay, it's not that bad. You know, it's just stepping out and just like, who cares? Who cares? So 8 ways to develop your new mindset, and I'll let you go. This probably take us another 5 minutes. We're gonna be done. So let go of perfection. Nothing and no one else is perfect except Jesus. Okay, nobody. We can have a perfect heart towards God, but our performance will always be flawed due to some degree because we are human. So show yourself grace in the things that you do fail at. Ask God for that wisdom to continue growing, to realize when certain things do have to change, but also you may want to change a habit, you may want to change something that you do, but don't be hard on yourself and put yourself down like you're any less because you made that mistake. You are human. Okay? Like so many people who are perfectionists, like they frustrate themselves and everyone around them because they're just like so obsessed with getting it right instead of like enjoying the moment. Y'all remember our song? Keep me in a moment. Help me live with my eyes wide open. Because I don't want to miss what you have for me. Right? Ask God to show you what matters. Because sometimes, like, you look at our plans and God's laughing because he's like, you don't even know. Like, I have something bigger than that, beyond that. Beyond that. And we're so stuck in what we think we should do. Like, yes, go through the motions, grow your business, but don't lose sight of yourself. Don't lose sight of your blessings. And don't lose sight of the fact that you're human. And we're always going to be learning and growing. Okay. 2, get to know yourself. Like truly knowing yourself. Not simply believing what other people say about you. It is key. Like knowing yourself is key to both authentic living and to personal fulfillment. And that's like one of the key things that we do here, right? Knowing ourselves, being ourselves. And even that is easier said than done sometimes, because if you have certain things that you haven't worked through, like in your inner self, it's hard to even be alone with yourself. But you have to get there. You have to get to the point where you uproot it because it's holding you back and it no longer serves you. You need to uproot it and let it go. So if you want to know yourself better, consider these questions. What do you want out of life? What would you pursue or enjoy if you were not concerned at all with what others think or say? Have you tried to be like others for so long that you have lost sight of what you want? If so, you can recapture your dreams. You can recapture that vision. Like, who did you think you were going to be when you were like a little girl excited about your future? Sometimes we have to go back there and just have that like faith of a child and know that anything you can do is possible. And it still is, but it's so hard in our adult minds to really believe it. But it's possible. And we see it in our leaders every single day. It's possible to change your whole life, not just financial through this business, but your whole life, your heart, everything. And we have the opportunity to grow in Christ too, together. And that is just the biggest blessing. Number 3, allow yourself to be vulnerable. Ooh. Going against the norm, trying something new, or facing disapproval can be terrifying. But you cannot succeed unless you take a chance on failing. You just can't. That's like no way around it. Ain't no way around it. Number 4, stop hiding. Oh, that's a good one too. We go through times where we hide behind our phones. We hide. We hide. You don't hit the live button. You don't go face to face. You put up a whole bunch of slides. You put up a boring boomerang without saying anything. You're just hiding. because you think that they're gonna, oh my God, I didn't show up the last 2 days. So what? Stop apologizing. Just come back and be like, hey y'all, hey, so what? I saw someone's story today and I had to comment on it because she was like, a lot of people come on here and say, sorry for not talking to you guys. Not me. I needed the break. Ain't nothing wrong with taking a break. We all have a different flows. We all have a different seasons. I've had seasons where I'm on every single day, but even right now, being up for a bonus, y'all, taking my Sabbath, like this last Sunday, I was on a little more just because it's like, okay, it's April, like 12K is mine, right? But at the same time, just unplugging, like getting up that morning and having that feeling of like, I'm going to take my capsules and my 3 steps, regardless of me having to put them on camera today. That's been incredible because it reminds me how much I love the product regardless. It reminds me that I don't want to get up and not take my jumper cables, regardless of putting them on my stories. And so on Sunday, you don't see any products on my story. I may talk about like content and like, you know, getting ready for the next week, like speaking some peace over my audience. But it's been so refreshing, and my creativity skyrockets, and like I'm ready for the week, and it's been incredible. And I feel like God's gonna honor that because if we trust Him on that, in the rest of the week for 6 days for Him to provide, I can trust Him to slow down a little 1 day a week and just take that time for myself. And I feel like we all have that different day a week where we just don't do as much, right? We have to find that. It's so good for you. It'll make you be okay with like not feeling like you're hiding when it's time to come back. You can even voice that to your audience. You want people to see that. You don't want somebody to think that they can't do what you do because they see you there all the time. When you've been gone, like instead of saying, oh, I'm sorry I wasn't here, hey, sounding all like intimidated and like not confident, just be like, y'all, it's been a day. I hope your day went well, right? I don't teach my team to be on here all the time. Like we're gonna have days where it's ups and downs. Come at it like that. There's so many different ways, but just don't hide, right? Don't hide. It is time to be true to your own heart. You are beautiful, and it is time to let everyone see it. You have a gift to share with the world. And if you hide it due to the fear of failure, the world, even your team, even the ones you're leading, even the ones you can inspire, we will all miss something that only you could have given us. We'll all miss it. How selfish of you would be to continue to hide. Don't hide anymore. Number 5, be your own best friend. Love yourself. Be your own best self. Give yourself a hug and decide to be kind to yourself. Remember that God has made you and that He doesn't make mistakes. If you like yourself, you don't have to be around people excessively because you enjoy spending time with yourself. Oh, I love just being with me and God. I love it. I love that quiet time. I crave it. To be alone with your thoughts. I feel like sometimes I need to do it more, but then I'd be like an hour sometimes. I'm just like, okay, that's enough. Like, you know, we all have a different self-development time, but mine goes a little too long sometimes, and I still feel like I need to do more. So that's just me. But where was I? If people do reject you, it may not be pleasant or enjoyable, but it won't be nearly as devastating as it would be if you didn't like yourself. I felt like that was deep. I want to read that again. If you like yourself, you don't have to be around people excessively because you enjoy spending time with yourself. And if people do reject you, it may not be pleasant or enjoyable, but it won't be nearly as devastating as it would be if you didn't like yourself. Because guess what? You would be okay with being alone with yourself. That's when you really let go of people pleasing, when you really let go of worrying about what they think. Because you know what God says about you. You know who you are in Him, and how beautifully and wonderfully, uniquely made you were, right? He knit you in your mother's womb, and He knew you would be here on this Zoom right now, on this team right now, on this tribe right now. You're meant to be here. So number 6, find your own group. How we call it, your niche? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Maybe it's my Spanish. Find your niche. Find your where you get your groove on. I like to call it your power place, right? Like pray for and look for who you're comfortable with, who you are secure enough to let you be yourself. In our situation, it could be a little different because sometimes we have to start being ourselves and attract those that are like us, right? So it can be a harder transition instead of like looking for people and then incorporating. Sometimes because we're becoming leaders, we have to like take it like it's a little harder step, but we're doing it a little backwards. Like you have to learn to just be good with you, know you, do the work, do that self-development, because that's how you're going to find the people who are comfortable with you, and then you are comfortable with them. But the process may just look a little different with how we are growing right on social media, but you'll find your people. Find people with whom you can exchange ideas, who can allow to be original with without judging you. And that's important with your team too. How we say everyone's not going to be your people. You want to be able to brainstorm. You want to be able to do what Amber and I did. And we're, oh my God, it was 5 a.m. I was like, oh, she's up. She can take, okay. And we're just like backfired ideas and we're excited, right? But you want to like, you want to have a team with people who are going to be like, I don't know about that. Or they don't maybe give you any feedback, or they're never willing to stretch themselves or grow. Like, then no one's going, right? The more a leader grows, the more the team grows. So that's important. But it's going to be hard to really find your people if you don't like yourself and you don't get to know yourself and start growing yourself. So stay away from those who are critical and who easily find fault with others. Yeah, you don't want those around. Almost done. 7. I feel like this is like in business, like it's on point. Ask for help. Ask God for guidance and believes that he gives it. Ask others, your team members, side sisters, upline, right? Downline, like it doesn't matter, right? That goes with being vulnerable too. Sometimes your downline can teach you so much. I have girls on my individual team that, oh my goodness, inspire me a lot. We inspire each other. It doesn't matter where anyone's at or how new or not new you are. It doesn't matter. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't let it make you feel any less. Don't look at it as a weakness. We all need each other. We can do so much more together than we can ever do alone. Right? If you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, bring others with you. Number 8, doubt your doubts. Doubt comes to all of us, but it usually does not offer good advice. Think very carefully and prayerfully about the decisions you want to make, and then stick with them. Like knowing God's promises to you, knowing that this is going to happen for you, knowing that if you don't give up, it's inevitable, but also trusting in God's will, trusting in the growth that he's doing in you. He will complete it, but you have to have that faith to continue pushing forward. Stick with them. If you fall into the trap of self-doubt, you may end up being unsure about everything you want to do. Kind of like imposter syndrome, right? If you make a decision and lose your peace about it, slow down and wait until you determine what is right. God guides us by peace. If you have peace with it, if it feels good, if it's not so full of doubt and so full of anxiety, then you know it's from God. You have peace with it. Like in that moment, you can like, no, this is it. Like maybe with your content or something you're inspired by, or if you came up with a post, in the moment you made that post and you wrote that out, you poured your heart into it, you felt peace about it. And sometimes we post it and then we're like, oh my gosh, what are they going to think? Oh, are they going to understand what I meant? Are they going to misunderstand? Oh, well, whoever's meant to get it will get it. And those that don't just won't. I mean, I posted some things after I'm like, did that make sense? I wonder if it's going to make sense to them. Oh, well, it's up there now. Don't erase it. You know, like you just, when you have peace about it, do it in that moment. So doubt your own doubts, right? Because our enemy, the devil, tries to guide us by fear and doubt. God did not give us that spirit of cowardness or fear or doubt. He gave us the spirit of power, of love, of sound minds, of being able to renew our minds. And this is what these tips are doing, to be able to renew your mind on another level, because that's our ultimate goal. Take everything away, but the person I've become in the last year and a half, I won't take that back for nothing in the world. Because you come to be like, man, I never thought I would do something like this. I never thought I would lead. Never thought I would just pour my heart out and not care what anyone thought. It just knew that it's going to help someone. If you never give up, you will eventually find your sweet spot, that power place. As you search for it, remember that failing at something doesn't make you a failure. It doesn't. And I'm done.
Oh my God. That was so good on so many levels. I know Kendra was asking, what's the title of the book again? I didn't catch it.
Authentically, Uniquely You, Joyce Meyer.
Joyce Meyer. Look, Karen's got it too.
Oh yeah, I saw Katie with it too. I had it. I bought it a few months back, and I had it like shelved, I guess, not reading it yet. And then I saw it on Katie's coffee table one time. She wasn't even talking about the book. I said, "Oh, I'm about to read it." I already have it. So yeah, it's good so far.
And that was like, there were so many golden nuggets in this Zoom, you guys. Like, this will definitely be one that you can watch in the replay and just be like, oh my God, I needed this message one more time. I loved it so much. So thank you for leading us tonight. Do you want to touch on what we had talked about this morning, or
with the what's it called?
jot form?
Jot form. Okay, y'all. So out of nowhere, like I had like it's almost like I can't control it. Like I know that has nothing to do with our success, but out of nowhere, my page just went viral. Like all of my God videos, which glory hallelujah to God, they went crazy, right? But I started having some people getting my link in my link tree, and like I had 5 brand promoters sign up through my link. But when I messaged them, like they're looking more, okay, I want to try the product first. And it's kind of different when you haven't even had that person really watch you for much, really see your heart, you know, like we don't know each other, right? So they just would sign as brand promoters, but then they're either getting a trial or something. So I was like, Amber, like, how can I control this better? Like, how can I know who really wants to? Because out of those 5 brand promoters, no one bought their pack. Like, I would have been 12K, but it's okay, right? I don't want just people who are whatever. Like, I want to be able to connect, right? But I was just like, I felt overwhelmed for a second. I didn't even know, like, okay, should I still be growing my network? Like, I don't know. It was anyway. She came up with Jot Form, and it's like when you have your link tree, when you say join the tribe, which your wording matters too, because I put work with me. I need to go change that. Like join the tribe. Like it makes it feel more heartfelt, like you're joining a community. I need to change that. But basically, when you click it, there's a Jot Form link there's gonna go to, instead of going to where they can create an account. It'll allow them to do a questionnaire and kind of ask like their interests, what's on their heart, the things that they want to work on. So we found that to be so good for us to incorporate as well, to kind of like weed out those that aren't serious, right? You don't want people who are going to waste your time. You want to find your people, but you want to find the people who are going to be in it for the long run, who really can have vision about what we're trying to accomplish. And then another thing, when we come back from Palooza, everyone who's going, we're gonna all hop on here and do a oh my God, somebody's calling me. No, I got a phone call. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it called? Like a recap?
Yeah. There's a recap.
Yeah, we want to do a recap. So like while we're out there, think of like the things that are making you go like like aha moments, right? And we're gonna get some of us from the team to kind of like just come on and do a recap on that. And go ahead. What?
Look at Kristen's face. You just scared her.
Oh, really? Where's she at? Kristen, you're in for the time of your life. Like you're gonna be like, what? Yes, I'm go. Like you're gonna come back so pumped that you're not gonna care to get on here and be like, oh my God, when such and such said this, oh yes, I feel that. Oh my God, I felt her story. Like this nugget right here, I'm sticking with this, right? Just like when somebody says something about a birthday pack, you know how I roll with that in March? Like I know the harvest is coming. I got so many trials out. Like birthday packs are free, but I don't care. The ones that I was trying to sell didn't sell, but I got them out there, and I got, you know, that's just something, for example, that I ran with. Like, you never know what someone's going to say, especially at Palooza. That's just going to stick with you forever, and it's going to make you just show up so differently. Go ahead, Karen.
I have a question about Palooza.
Go for it.
when they're like, when you're in like the main Palooza part of it, because I know there's like a lot of things and there's a lot of different trainings and all of that, but like when you're actually in the main Palooza, like you and Harriet know what I'm talking about. That main
The main
part where like, are we allowed to go live?
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Good.
You'll get some portable charger things.
Yeah.
That with you.
I'm gonna need one of those because I don't have my new phone yet, and I'm really upset. So I'm like doing a whole wipe
Girl,
of my phone.
look
This
how my
phone
phone
is
was.
going on my computer, but I was like going to go live a lot, and just kind of share our road trip and just kind of like share the whole experience, but not share all of it because you know you want people to come in, you want people to experience for themselves. But I just wanted to know if we could go live.
Yeah. You want to come back with a whole lot of reels and videos and stuff they haven't seen. Okay, baby. I'm excited.
You're fun. I'm excited for you guys. Absolutely. You can go live even when they're announcing, you know, if they drop any new products or promos or anything like that. You are certainly allowed to turn the camera around and you can record Jason or whatever. Anything you want to share. It's just like, it's a free for all. And it's such an amazing time to get to know your team. I'm so sad that I cannot go, but I literally, like, Sean can't even drive yet. And it's just chaos still over here. And we're even like pushing 2 weeks out of surgery. But anyways, it's a more extensive surgery than I thought. So I'm so bad that I'm gonna be crying from Virginia. I promise. I'm gonna be crying. I'm gonna be like, my people, like, I love you guys, but you will come back so much more inspired, and just have a bigger sense of exactly why you're here. So I'm so excited to see you guys go there and come back with so many golden nuggets. Harriet, thank you again for leading us tonight. That was just great. I love when God just like speaks to you and you're just like, I don't even know, like you probably don't even know what you just said, but it was all amazing. And if you guys, I don't know if you've made your drop form yet, but if you guys need like an idea of what we were saying, if you go to, probably my Instagram is the quickest way to find it, but if you go to my link tree, the link in my bio in my Instagram, it'll take you to my link tree. And then at the very bottom, there's a little link that says join the tribe, and you'll see what she's talking about, where Jot form is just like it's basically like a Google Docs. It's a way to get around having to create like a whole new Google account with an email and all that. Like that was so confusing for me to try to figure that out last night. So I just like, I Googled like, what's another option besides Google Docs? Because I just literally couldn't figure it out. And Jot form popped up and I was like, oh my gosh, like somebody just sent me a Jot form to fill out to do like a dual live together like this. Why didn't I think about that? And so I just started piddling around with it and ended up using like I think it was like a realtor form. It was all set out already. I just changed the pictures and I changed the wording. That's all I did. And then I took the link and I put it into my link tree. So if you need an example or if you have any questions, just reach out to me. I'm happy to help you get yours all set up. But we're going to hop off of here. You guys go enjoy your crazy busy week as you start heading to Palooza. Don't forget about me. Okay. I love you guys. And I'll see you next week.